Hi, my friend. It's Pat Sloan here for Block Wednesday, and it is the 12th block of Summer Soiree. But first, I have to show you, look at this t-shirt. What does it say? She's like whiskey in a teacup. So if you have been following along, as I know Louise has, because Louise sent me this t-shirt. Thank you, Louise, and this beautiful card. Look at this. She told me that, after following along with this, that she saw this and she thought I had to have it, because this Whiskey in a Teacup is the name of the book that we've been using for the Summer Soiree by Reese Witherspoon. And this is what her grandmother's phrase was to describe Southern women who are strong and beautiful. So that was just such a nice compliment, Louise, for you to send this to me. I just love it. I just love it. It is so cool. Okay, so what is our block, our last block, number 12? It is something that you want to wrap up. Here's the block. Ta-da! Very fun star to add to our quilt. So at the end of your summer soiree, when your guests are getting ready to leave, do you send them off with a little something that you've wrapped up that they can take? Maybe you have a basket of little things at the door for them to take. Maybe there's favors that you gave during the event. But it's always, I think it's kind of fun at the very end to have that extra little surprise. Like as they walk out the door, they are going to remember you when you gave them a little gift, a tiny little something. We're quilters, so of course we could do that I'm sure you do that with your quilt friends. But I think the fun part is to have it on the way out as that extra little something. Okay, so here's the block, and I want to show you what it looks like. I have, one of the other blocks is on the other table. Okay, so it's going to go down here, down at the bottom, and then the other block is on the back table, but I'm going to show you something about that. Actually, I'll tell you now, and then you'll see the close-ups of it. But here's, this block I decided to redo the bottom. How does it go? Okay, so that the bottom here, it was yellow, and I decided that it just wasn't working for me. So I redid it, and I'll put it up here, and I have a close-up coming up of that so that you can take a look. So this book, I'm going to talk about it next week when we do the layout a little bit more. This has been a really inspirational book for me. Just reading through it and all the great stories and all the great memories that those stories bring up to go along with our sew along. So there's a couple of chapters that I haven't touched on yet at all, but I thought that the chapter for today, when people are leaving your summer soiree and you are giving them a little something, that is the beauty of friendship. It just sort of is the cherry on top of friendship, is a little gift. Now she's talking about in her chapter here the beauty of female friendships, but I would cross that out and say quilters friendship, because we as a quilt community have these same vibes that we have with very close friends that you want to stay in touch with all the time. She just talks about different things that they do. I just love this chapter, because I think as quilt makers, we can really relate to any kind of friendship community. And that's what we are and what we embody all the time. I think that is what quilting is really all about. All right, so let's take a look at what I selected for the fabrics for these blocks and make it a little fix to that one block. So let's look at some of the color options that I can have for the wrap it up block, because there's different ways to go now that I'm at the end. I do have my blocks put together, but if yours are still not sewn into rows, you have even more options, because you can move the blocks around to get the color balance how you like it. So let's take a look here. Now I'm putting this up here because this was my original thought for the border around it, but I'm not, I don't have to do that. I'm just sort of leaving it up there to think about it, because I will use one of these more open prints and not one of the more solid looking prints, like this or that one. So here would be something. I do want black points, so I know that I want black star points, so that is a given. And then the checkerboard and the background. So here was an option. I went and looked at the blues and the red, white, and blue. And I did you know, I haven't done a block exactly red, white, and blue like this, which is kind of nice. I could switch out the blue, and there, see, now it gives it a little bit more pizzazz with that red print in it. Let's see, the background, you could go bolder. I could go really bold like that, and then what I would do would be I would hold the checkerboards more solid so that you could actually, you know, see them, because if I did this against here, it's very mushy, but against this more solid reading one, it's really good. I could go with something like this, with that floral here, which I think this is really pretty. That's a really nice one. Lots of, you know, these little tonals. I don't want to use the background. I've did that enough. Now what if I didn't do red, white, and blue? I could do green and gray. That's really nice. And I don't have a lot of green and gray in a block, but I have a lot of green sashings. And so I'm not going to go with this one because there's two greens right near where this block will go. So I don't want to do that. I could do red and gray, and that could be the background. Could go over into the peach and blue like I did before with some of them. We do a lighter background so that this has enough contrast. So there are different options for the block, and you know, it was fun to play around to see which one would work for me. So another thing that's really been bugging me is the more I had this on the wall, the more the yellow on the bottom of this block just was too wimpy. It just faded away, and so I'm going to take it out. But I'm struggling. Which color should I put in here? So let's take a look at my options. I luckily have, I have a date with Jack the Ripper here. So I've got one arm undone, and I'm just going to sew back to about this point, so I don't have to take off the full sashing. Just take off to here, and then take out these two blocks. I still have this background, so that's good. And I already have this peach on here, so I'm looking at, you know, would a gray be nice on there? Because you definitely see it. So the gray will be, I think, something that would work. I mean, it needs to be a little bit darker. That yellow was just too light once I got any distance away from it. The other option I'm looking at is maybe repeating the blue down there. So, because here it has sort of black with some red, and then here is blue with pops of green. So the other thing would be to put a green in here. So here's a blue, and then here would be a green option. So I could go with green. Green would, you know, pull in the leaves of both of these. So I don't know, maybe I'll do green. Maybe that'll be it. What do you think? Okay, I'm going to cut it and see. Let's go ahead and see what this different colors would look like. So here would be the green. I'm just going to audition. I did go ahead and cut them. I was feeling confident it was going to be green. So there would be, so I've got two of the sides unsewn already. There would be the green. But my gut keeps telling me this blue. This blue is going to be good. So I cut the blue. Let's see. Ta-da. Ta-da. And there's the blue. And I really like the blue. So, all right, that's it. Remaking this one, just taking this section out and putting in blue for these two. Green is good too. Green would work too, but I'm kind of leaning to the blue. So we're going to do it. So now that we're back, I really want to pick the sashing for this and tell you what it is now, because I will be putting it into the quilt. I have everything. I have out to the first outer border, then there's a second outer border that we'll talk about next week, or I will anyways, for mine. So I have two fabrics. This is the one that I originally was thinking. So I was thinking of this one, but now I'm not so sure. I think it's just a little too light. I think it needs to be a little deeper color. So I took a look at what I've already used in the quilt, And I've already used the green and the peach a couple of times. Then these lighter ones, which were, you know, basically mimicking this, I have 2 of those. 1, 2, 3. No, I have 3 of those. And then I have 2 of, here, this fabric. So I thought, okay, that's the one I'm going to do. Whoop. So I will use this fabric like this. And there we are. So that is where I'm going to go with the little border around this block. And let me show you the one I fixed again. Ended up with the blue. So I'm happy with that. I would have been happy with the green too. There was 2 green borders sort of close together down here, so that's why I sort of leaned off to do the blue. But I think the green would have been equally nice, but both are better than the yellow. The yellow was just, where is it? Here it is. It's nice, I like it. It was just too light. There wasn't enough, it just washed away. Basically, it looked like the bottom row was forgotten. And so I didn't want that look. Did not want that look. Exciting, right? It's exciting. I think it's always the best when you get to the last block, and then you can sort of, a lot of you will be shuffling all your blocks around to get the balance of color that you like, and then start putting your sashings on. All right, my friends, this is our block. Whoops, I forgot. So this is the block on here. So we got to wrap it up. And then I put just a little repeat table runner. So I think that, you could do this in some of the fabrics you have left over. This would be cute to make a little matching table runner to go with your quilt. Any of these would make a cute pillow if you have some extras, or maybe you made a block that didn't, you didn't put into the quilt. All great things. So thank you, Louise, again for my amazing t-shirt. I just love this. Mwah. So I love you. See you online. Mwah.